5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Sports on Tap is brought to you by Go-To Pro Plumbing, Land & Sea Motorsports, On the Bay Customs Boutique and Cafe.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
I don't know what we're yelling about!
I mean, listen, we're talking about practice. Not a game. We're talking about practice.
Loud noises!
Not a game.
This is the first time alive. I'm glad I'm here.
We're talking about practice, man.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
65.
63. Knew it, I'm surrounded by assholes.
Kick the tires and light the fires, Big Daddy.
We are tonight's entertainment.
We're here to fuck shit up.
Sports the way it should be. Nothing sugar-coated, loaded with all the information you want. From legends to prospects, nothing's off limits. Chris and Joe taking on all topics with no stopping. They keep it rolling and going and ball hopping at a rate that's hard stopping. With music that's jaw dropping, they're getting it in. Sports center competition, man, they get it to win. This ain't a fluke from Carolina to Duke, from MSU to Michigan. You'll know if you listening, and if you ain't, you missing it. All the excitement, they shock like a thunder god and rock with lightning. Get it together, you know ain't nobody better. Bring heat than cold weather. You better put on a sweater, you better just let it go and all come and attack. Sit back, relax, let's tell them it's all cast.
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
Welcome to this edition of Sports on Tap. I'm Chris Scott alongside Joe Waddell and Frank Giurgata. Gentlemen, how are we?
We're here.
Yeah.
Yes, we're here.
We are here. We are live.
I've heard that. Fuck it, we'll do it live. I'm so glad you added that to our intro, Joe.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
So good. I love it.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
This week, it's as you know, if you've listened, we generally start off with, kind of reviewing the Lions debacle or whatever. But being as they had a bye week, which somehow I feel they still lost because they didn't take this opportunity to fire their head coach and their general manager, that's all I'm going to say about the Lions for this week because, you know what? Fuck them. I'm done with it. For at least till they lose to Jacksonville.
Yeah, it's funny, though. They still made national media news.
Of course.
Even on a bye week.
Oh, yeah.
Terry Bradshaw and Michael Strahan are still tearing them apart. Even in a bye week.
Assault.
Yeah, even in a bye week, they're getting torn up.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I mean, it's crazy, man.
It's an absolute assault on Matt Patricia, especially by Terry Bradshaw. It's like,
yeah.
It's like, wow, man.
Terry Bradshaw what was his comments? I don't care if you like him or not, but Matt Patricia can't coach worth a lick.
He's terrible. Yeah, and the sad thing is everything he's saying is accurate. How do you defend it?
You can't say he's wrong.
No. But what I do love, and it's kind of selfish because it shouldn't be this, but as we're speaking right now and talking to you guys, we're actually watching a live football game.
Yes, yes, which is nice. I'm not gonna lie. I wish they would do Tuesday night football all the time. I would take football every night.
Of course, yeah.
I'm just an NFL slappy. I would take football every night.
To me, I think that'd be a little much.
Fine with that.
I mean, if they did it every once in a while, just switched up like a Thursday night game for a Tuesday night game, I think I'd be all right with that. Yeah. And
I think they need to do away with the Thursday night games, period. I've said that for a while. The Thursday night games are never any good. But if you had a Monday night game and then a Tuesday night game, all part of that week, I think that would work. The Thursday night, I think, it's too short a time period in between games.
I agree with you.
Teams don't come out and play very well in those games a lot of times. They're just not very good football most of the time.
I think if they did it right, I think they could pull it off. It would be significantly better. Like if you have a team's coming off a bye week or something like that and do it like that, I think it would work. But the way they do it now, it doesn't.
Yeah, because a lot of times you have teams playing on Sunday and then they got to turn around and play again on Thursday.
And you can tell the team that played that. Did
absolutely,
absolutely. And it's just like, okay.
I do enjoy the Thanksgiving games though.
That's different though. That's holiday games. But generally those teams, they play on Sunday and they play on Thursday. I get it.
Right.
But then they have like a week and a half off. So
right.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, and it happens once a season.
Right. So I'm cool with it. And anybody, and this is one thing I will say, for as much as we bash the Lions, if you say they should lose their Thanksgiving game, fuck off. They should not lose their Thanksgiving game. They came up with it. They should keep it forever. It's as much as it sucks to watch them sometimes on Thanksgiving Day because they just get blown out or it's a non-competitive game.
It doesn't suck for me. I enjoy watching.
Right. It doesn't suck for me either. I mean, it did for 36 years.
Yeah.
But regardless, if you're watching them get blown out every year, it's their tradition. They started it. They should always have it.
They should always have the first. Cowboys should always have the second.
And that's fair.
And your night game, just put a good matchup on the night game.
Absolutely. So suck it up. Deal with it. Football's on. You're not. Who cares? You're just sitting there anyway. Who gives a shit? You're drinking beers. You're with your family. Whatever.
I would even argue that
you're in a turkey coma.
Right.
We could probably throw one on that Friday. I wouldn't hate seeing a game on that Friday. Just making games all across that weekend.
I wouldn't either.
Well, that's why I like this year. They have a game on Christmas Day,
right?
Which is awesome.
Yeah, because the way it falls. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. That's fantastic. Like I'm sorry. Like the NBA at Christmas. All right, I'm done with that. I'm done with it.
I don't know. It's like the one day out of the year that I actually watch the NBA before the playoffs start.
Yeah.
But see, do you actually watch it? Because I know we put it on Christmas Day.
This is the thing. It's on,
but we don't actually watch it.
Right.
For me, it's just sports that I can put on.
Right.
TV. Like I don't really watch the games.
But therein lies.
I would watch football.
Right, but therein lies that's the thing with the Lions game on Thanksgiving. It's on.
Right.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Like what difference does it make if they're getting their asses kicked or not? It's on.
Yeah, for me it's just football.
I mean, to answer your question, yes, I do watch it.
Do you really?
Yeah, we go to my aunt's every year, and there's a lot of females on that side of my family, so the guys kind of seclude themselves off to the side and stay out of the
watch
way.
NBA basketball.
If sports is on, we watch it, and usually it just happens to be basketball that's on.
But if there was NFL on, it'd be much better, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And infinitely times better.
Exactly. I rest my case. I rest my case.
But I'll still watch it, even though it's not that great.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I put it on. I don't actually watch it.
Okay.
I put it on. I might see a couple plays here and there, but for me, it's basically background noise and something to have on because either that or we put on some, like the Christmas Story.
Oh God!
Which,
for like the
8th time like the 24 hours of it.
Yeah, I know you hate that one. Or we put on Elf or something like that. But.
Like I don't hate that movie, but I don't need to have it. Doesn't need to be on 24 hours.
Yeah, I know.
It's just like enough.
When I was like 17, 18 maybe, I'd come home from Buddy's house hungover from Christmas Eve, straight on through Christmas Story all day long. Wake up, watch a little bit of it, go back to sleep. Wake up, watch a little bit more of it, go back to sleep.
I think what they honestly should do is just play.
Uh-oh.
You got to catch that, dude. Come on. We watch it. Put the Christmas Story on. That's fine.
Ooh,
and then
we could get Angry Chris on air today.
Oh,
if assholes drop passes like that, you may get Angry Chris.
Yeah. For the people who are going to listen to this podcast, who are going to listen to it and they're not watching it right now live, we're watching the Buffalo-Tennessee game as we do this show, and Josh Allen just threw an interception, which wasn't his fault.
No.
It was thrown a little bit behind him, but it should have been caught.
Yeah.
Got popped up in the air, and it was an interception. So you might get Angry Chris. You might get Angry Chris here because
that's not the way you want to start.
He's
the first drive.
He's a new Buffalo Bills fan from this last year, and that's not going to go over well.
Can I ask, I know this probably wasn't what we planned on talking about, but I'll throw this question out to you guys right now.
Let's talk about it.
Do we ever have a plan?
Yeah. There is no plan. This is Sports on Tap.
This is what we do.
So you guys decide to leave the Detroit bubble.
I knew this was going to come up.
I knew bubbles, different term for bubble, not the current bubble, the old bubble. You go with Buffalo and you go with Cleveland.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why? And I'm not. This is not out of. Guys, you just picked two dog shit teams too. Like, this is a genuine question that I think people are interested.
Because it's easy to hop. It's easy to change to a team that is like successful. Like people to hop on the Patriots bandwagon. That's okay. That's a big one,
right?
Like that, or jump on the Packers or Steelers or like successful franchises like that. It's easy to do that.
Okay.
I wanted to pick a team that literally has not won anything. They've been to the Super Bowl 4 times, and that's great, but they've not won anything.
Yeah, man.
That Super Bowl run, though, isn't necessarily something to brag about because...
Well, still, they went there 4 times.
They went there 4 times, but they also lost
for sure,
all 4.
Well, I have family that lives in Buffalo. They're huge Buffalo Bills fans. And we used to go to games here in Detroit when a lot of times on Thanksgiving, the Buffalo Bills would play them. There was quite a few times they played
because
them.
their old owner is actually from Grosse Pointe.
So we would go to those games, and it was one of those things where they grew up Bills fans. We grew up Lions fans, and I actually enjoyed watching Buffalo. And through those years, they had some great teams: Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Andre Reed,
Daryl Talley, all those guys.
Yeah,
Bruce
so,
Smith.
like,
yeah.
those were some
Who?
good.
Never heard of them.
Never heard of them. Those were some really good teams, and they were fun to watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they went 4 times. They blew it every time, but they went.
There's another
4 times.
Like when I texted you last night, that damn kicker. There's another one of the fucking kicker, man.
But like I told you,
you got one job, and they win their first Super Bowl.
It has nothing to do with the game itself. Yeah. The only reason I love kickers is because it fucks up somebody's fantasy week every week.
Fucking kickers, man.
To me, it doesn't fuck up anybody's fantasy week. To me, it's a needless fantasy aspect. Like you don't need kickers when you play fantasy football. You don't like fantasy football anyway, but you don't need kickers. It's stupid.
You don't need them. You are correct. And my cousin Dave, the commissioner who runs the league that Joe and I are both in together, he makes this argument every year.
I back him up on the argument the last 2 years.
Yes, you've backed him up both years you've been in there. But I stick to what I said to you last night, Chris, and that is the fact that I just find so much humor in the fact that such a meaningless position once a year loses a game for somebody.
I find humor in these idiots that take it so fucking serious. They send like death threats.
Oh, I know. Yeah, that's so stupid.
It's like, are you serious?
That's so stupid.
If your fantasy team is life and death to you, dude,
right.
You got bigger problems than your fantasy. Like, come on, man.
If professional sports in general is life and death to you, you got big problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we all take sports very seriously. We all enjoy sports, but not a single one of us is going to be the guy sending Danny Green death threats for missing the last shot.
Yeah,
no.
Like we talked about before the show, we kind of thinking about some topics or whatever. We said what is the worst fan? Like, you got like your bandwagon fan, you got your jock sniffer, you got.
Well, for me, one of the worst fans is the fans that think they know everything about the game.
Oh God.
So the fans that think they know, they've never played the sport, even at a younger level,
right?
And they think they know everything there is to know about the game, and they're narrating the game as they're watching it, and they're saying what should have happened. And it's like, just shut the fuck up.
I watch a Super Bowl every year with a guy like that.
Oh my God!
And he is honestly the least educated person in the room on the sport of football, but we all just let him continuously talk because it's more entertaining usually than the game is.
Right. And it's one of those things where you just want to look at him and go, I wish I could explain to you how stupid you are about the game, but you wouldn't even get it. So I'm not even going to bother.
No, that fan is incredibly annoying. I had an experience on Saturday after the Miami game, and I put some stuff out on Twitter because, I'll face it, Miami's my team. They got their asses kicked. They were not ready for that game whatsoever.
We all knew that was going to happen.
Fair enough. But so as the night goes on, I got into it with this guy on Twitter, and like he called me a bandwagon fan, and I questioned, and I go, "What do you mean bandwagon fan?" He's like, "Well, you didn't go there," and I thought to myself, and I didn't reply back because I just didn't want to deal with conversing with an ignorant motherfucker.
You've matured.
I have, years ago I would have gone back at him.
A couple years ago,
right.
not even many years ago.
Fair enough. But he said the guy was a bandwagon because I didn't go to Miami, and I thought about it for a second. I'm like, well, first of all, you have no idea if I went to Miami, and second of all, what fucking difference does it make if I went there or not? Like so you have to go to a university. To be a fan of a team.
Frank, did you go to Notre Dame?
Nope.
Did you go to Michigan State?
Did you go to Michigan State?
I visited there once.
Frank, have you ever played for the Oakland, LA, or Las Vegas Raiders?
Nope.
Then you can't be a fan of them. You've never played for them. Like, that's how dumb it sounds when people say stupid shit like that.
That is so dumb, saying you can't be a fan of a college team because you didn't go there.
Right.
That's just.
I'm like,
that's
okay.
that's one of the worst arguments, but it's been an argument for years.
It is.
Now.
It's ignorant. It's an ignorant argument. So I didn't go there because either A, I didn't have the money, or B, I didn't have the grades, or C, I didn't want to go out of state. Sorry.
Well, and not to mention, most people who are college fans especially, are fans of the team because either a family member went there, or they have some sort of tie to that school, or it's a local thing, like a lot of the major sports are. Whereas it's your local team. That's who you root for. And with college teams, there's probably a couple local college teams that you can root for, and you pick one at a young age, and then you just go with that. You don't have to go to that college. That's the
yeah.
dumbest argument I've ever heard.
It's incredibly, like I said, it's ignorant. It's just like, oh, so this is the best argument you have is because I didn't go to that school. Like I'm not as big of a fan as you are,
dare you.
or I'm not a fan at all.
Well,
I
I'm
will
a
say
bandwagon
though,
fan. Get fucked.
on the same note as that, as right as you guys are, there's nothing better than somebody getting so shitty about being called a Walmart Wolverine. Save-A-Lot's party,
Yeah,
Walmart
yeah.
Wolverine, whatever.
Can't read, can't write. Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but how pissed off people get when they get called those names.
That's funny to me. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
like,
That's why I'm like, okay.
good one. It's like, oh, good one. Did you come up with that yourself? Fantastic.
Right. It's
Yeah,
the least original thing you
It
could
really
say.
is.
Goes along with like calling people snowflakes and shit at this point.
Oh yeah. It's like, oh,
Just okay, we're gonna.
boy, you're so clever.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, it's one of those that is. I don't even understand it, to be honest with you. Walmart Wolverine, I don't even get it. I'm like, okay, you call me whatever you want to, Walmart Wolverine.
Is it because you like buy your Wolverine stuff from Walmart? Is that what that means?
I wish somebody would explain it to me because I really don't get it. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Oh, I was hoping. I was honest.
No, I got nothing.
I wish I could explain it to you guys, but honestly, I got nothing on that. I just think it's hilarious how pissed off people get about it.
I was honestly hoping you could explain it to me.
But honestly, it's the same as
No.
like Michigan State fans getting pissed off when you call him little brother.
Right.
It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
all right. You know, especially now, it's like, dude, it's been like fucking, like, how long?
Yeah.
Like 15 years?
On
Yeah.
top of the fact, like, if you look at the backstory to that whole little brother situation, why are you mad about it? You've done nothing but good things since you got called little brother.
Right.
Right. But you're still, it's still a chip on our shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like, let it go. Mike Hart's not even in the NFL anymore.
Oh, he's coaching. Is he coaching the Eastern now? Or
Yeah.
something? Yeah. So it's like,
Like, just
Okay.
let it go. It's not that big of a deal. It's sports.
I don't know,
It matters, but it doesn't matter that much.
Yeah. Not that much.
I don't know. I've been thinking about that since Saturday. I just kind of wanted to get it off my chest a little bit.
No,
Just 'cause
that's-
it's just the pure ignorance of this motherfucker. It's like,
That's
dude,
what we are
enough.
here for.
Well, and actually, I want to go back because I didn't answer my question or the question about why I became a fan.
The Browns fan, yes.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, Chris, you had kind of hinted towards the fact that you just enjoyed the Bills Mafia idea.
Oh,
and,
that's honestly that's one of the biggest reasons I went with the Bills. I love Bills Mafia,
and
I
that
love-
one I understood.
I
With
love seeing
Joe,
people get thrown two tables. It's great.
And surprisingly, of all the conversations we've had, we've never actually had this conversation. And that is the fact that you woke up one day and decided Baker was your guy and the Browns were your team.
Okay, so this goes back a while though. So I was always kind of a fan of the Browns, some of the Browns players. So Braylon Edwards, and again, this comes from fantasy football
Right.
too. But Braylon went to Michigan. He went to the Cleveland Browns, and had a great year. I had him on my fantasy team. So this kind of goes to that. You kind of get an affiliation with players,
Right.
through fantasy.
Yeah.
So Josh Gordon, another one. Huge fan of him in college. Huge
So
fan of
much
him coming
fucking
out.
talent.
So much talent, and then got wasted, and it shouldn't have been because that's a whole other story. But so I was always kind of a fan of players
Weed's
on
great,
Cleveland.
but so is a paycheck.
Right, right,
you can buy a whole lot more weed with a paycheck, dude.
right. So I was always kind of a fan of players on the Cleveland Browns, and then so I had already lost my fandom for Detroit.
Okay.
and I've been a Patriots fan for a long time since Tom Brady took
But
over
it's the
there.
hometown team. How can you just lose it?
Easy.
Another dumb fucking
Yeah,
argument.
Right. It's
Because they've been the hometown team in your guys' case for 36 and 40 years.
I'm 41 right now,
Yeah.
and they've given me nothing but pure
yeah,
fucking
they've
bullshit.
given you 41 years
gotta
worth of
root, you
reasons
gotta root
to
for your
not root for
hometown
'em.
team. No, you don't.
No, not at all.
No, you don't.
Not
If
at
they
all.
give you nothing to root for, then no, you don't.
Exactly. And
So-
for those of you listening, that's really how you achieve change.
Yes, that is. So for me, it came out of that aspect, and then also being a Patriots fan for a long time, and that was fine. But when I decided I wanted to become a fan of another team, I kind of was like Chris. I didn't want to be the bandwagoner because with the Patriots I wasn't. It was Tom Brady took over, Michigan guy. I'm on board. I like this.
Okay.
So I didn't want to become a fan of a winning team.
Yeah,
It's fair.
And-
yeah, that was kind of my mindset as well.
And
yeah.
and Cleveland literally just went 0-16.
Right.
The year before I picked them. I was like, all right, well, I kind of like that. I kind of like some of their younger players. But then I kept hearing Lions fans. And Lions fans do nothing but talk about Cleveland and how bad
They do,
Cleveland
too.
is.
Because rather than embracing the fact you were that bad, you try to deflect to the next what you think is the
Is
worst
the wor-
situation.
Right. So for me, it came from that. And I said, you know what? I kind of already am on board with the Browns a little bit anyway. I've liked some of their players over the years. I was a fan of Baker in college. I liked the dude. And I was like, you know what? That's my team.
Okay.
That's my team. And actually, I think it was the year before Baker. But Baker became the quarterback the next year.
And oddly enough, I think the year before
Was Kaiser, I believe.
yes, it was Deshaun
Yeah.
Kaiser. But the year before that is when, and I remember this because all three of us were discussing this at the time, we were at your gender reveal for your daughter. And that Lions-Browns game was that day.
Yep.
So, yes, I actually understand where,
Yeah.
okay, the backstory's, it adds
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, and
Okay.
Lions fans just love to talk about the Cleveland Browns and how bad they are and how much worse they are and how they're the worst franchise in NFL history. And,
But they're not.
And they're not. I beg to differ. They're not.
Now they're up there.
Listen,
They're up there.
They're there.
Yeah.
They're there, but they're not the worst franchise in NFL history. So
They were so bad that they left town, didn't tell anybody.
Well,
and then another one came and showed up and wanted to be the same thing.
Right.
That's literally the only thing bad I have to say about Cleveland, though.
well, and
Like,
that's
Other than it's in Ohio, yeah.
yeah. I mean,
That-
You, you guys know
that
my
too.
thoughts on Ohio.
I have family there, but other than that, I don't like the state. But yeah, it's for me. I wanted to become a fan of the Cleveland Browns because of some ties previously, but also
Okay.
I want the Browns to win, so I can rub it in the face of every Detroit fan that you made fun of them for years. They went 0-16 more recently than you did, and yet they still won before you did. So that's for me. That's going to bring me pure joy. And the
Okay.
fact they're 4-1 this year brings me more joy. They're 4-1.
There's no reason you shouldn't be enjoying the fact they're 4-1. They're
Absolutely
a hell of
enjoying
a football team right now. Honestly, on paper, they've been a hell of a football team for 2 years now. I'm
And-
just glad
and-
somebody's
and-
actually putting it together.
They had some shit ass coaches. That's
And
why.
From what I've been told,
Freddy's Kitchen.
the Lions should be 4-0. From what I've been told.
yeah,
That's what they
yeah,
said.
they should be. That's right.
All
That's
right,
true.
So, but the Browns are 4-1, and the Lions are not.
1-3.
1-3.
Nah.
They're not.
But no, I was genuinely interested, and I felt that this week, especially with there being no Lions
Yeah.
to open the show up, that
And
So-
add another reason on Jim Kelly. He's a Miami guy, so I kind of
you're not going to catch me saying anything bad about Jim Kelly. That man's a fucking warrior.
yeah.
So there was also some talk about this last week from people of can you just drop being a fan of your team and become a fan of another team and actually embrace that team and actually have passion for that team and actually really truly care about that team. Like, do you live and die by their snaps? Do you know what I mean? Like, and you're pumping your fist right now because it was a touchdown. But
There's a flag
Which is
on the
probably
play.
coming back.
there's a flag, which is probably coming back. But still, and so many people were saying that you can't be, and I completely disagree.
I agree. I disagree 100%.
Because the minute I decided I was on board with the Browns, every Sunday with me was I was happy when they won, and I was mad when they lost, and it's been better recently. But when I first jumped on board, it was kind of bad still.
Oh, yeah, it was terrible.
And they had some shit ass coaches. They had fucking Larry the Cable Guy coaching them last year.
Right.
I mean, that was one of the worst coaching hires I've ever seen.
Get her done.
No, you can
good Lord.
absolutely have passion for your new team, especially like when you're a fan of a team for so long, and it beat the fandom out of you.
Yeah,
It's just
so
like,
you're looking for another
you're
team
hungry,
to latch
You're
on
hungry
to.
to root for something else, something
Yes.
different, something better.
And it's funny because on that point alone, it kind of explains why I still root for the Lions. Because we're a good team. A good team gets to have that focus on playoff wins and Super Bowls, and you get hyped up for those things.
Yeah.
The Lions win so few games.
You get hyped up for
every
the draft.
It's the Lions Super Bowl.
I do get hyped up for the draft with them, but I also get hyped up for the Monday Night Football game against the Bears because we don't win these games. But
Speaking of which, that Monday
This-
Night
That
Football
was
game-
pretty sweet.
I didn't even like the Lions at that point in time,
Yeah.
and that Monday Night Football game
That was pretty cool.
was pretty nice.
Like the first one the Lions had in 10 years, something like that. Yeah.
But I get hyped up for that. It's an exciting game. There's meaning behind it. There's things that can happen. Every once in a while that happens. So
That might be the loudest I've ever heard a building. That place was
I agree with you.
loud,
especially
man.
because that building's not built to be loud.
Yeah, that place was shaking. It was
For
like
that to be shaking in the way it
Yeah.
was, like,
And
it
that's-
had to be something special going on. In
and
there.
that's saying something because we were in Louisiana.
on the Superdome.
Yeah. For Ohio State and LSU.
Ooh,
And
how was that?
Oh, we were rooting for LSU big time.
oh yeah,
No
Yeah.
shit.
yeah. We fit in just fine
Oh, yeah.
down there.
Oh, absolutely.
But there were some Ohio State fans we had a couple words with, or had a couple words with us, and then
The
that didn't turn out well for them because the cops pulled them aside and let us go. So that worked out well. But
that is when I found out how much LSU fan hates the Florida Gators. Because Michigan played. I believe that was Lloyd Carter's last game,
Okay.
and
yeah,
Michigan beat.
yeah, I think it was.
Michigan beat Florida in the Capital One Bowl or whatever.
That was Tebow year, wasn't it?
You know what? I don't remember if Tebow was in that.
Yeah,
game
I
or
can't
not.
remember either. It's not important.
Yeah,
I think it was.
Was it
actually.
Tebow?
I
Okay.
think so.
Anyway, so we were down there and we're talking to like LSU fans, and they're asking us where we're from, and me and Joe were like, we're from Michigan. Oh, so you guys down here rooting for Ohio State? We're like, fuck no. We're like, Ohio State, fuck Ohio State. It's like we're actually Michigan fans.
Anyone
I
with
think
half
I was-
a sports brain's not going to ask that question.
I think I was wearing an LSU hat, but I was wearing a Michigan shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
So we're like, we're Michigan fans. They're like, oh, thank y'all for beating Florida. I was like, well, we really had nothing to do with it, but
But you're welcome.
But you're welcome.
Thanks.
So we got a few hurricanes bought for us, so that was pretty cool.
man.
Talk about a punch in the face.
Oh.
Good Lord.
So that's a story. We'll just tell this one real quick. If you go to Louisiana and you go on Bourbon Street
yeah.
and you get the Hurricanes,
Just be careful.
just get one.
Yeah.
Just get one. Don't be like us.
Yeah, we
We got one, and then after that one, and we had a few other drinks. After that one, we said, we're not really feeling too bad. Let's get another one. That was really good.
Now,
Don't-
are these
Don't do that.
Are these the Hurricanes that have the extra 151 shot slid into a tube on top?
I don't know. I don't
okay.
think so. I think they were just regular Hurricanes. It was
Yeah.
like they're the slushy type
Yeah.
Slurpee drinks. I'm telling you, after the first one, we were like, we're not feeling nothing.
And they're
it just
good.
tasted.
Oh, they're really good.
Oh my God, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
And then we went for a second one, and then the night just derailed
It did.
from there.
Margaritaville in Jamaica.
Yeah.
They make a mean hurricane.
Yeah, we had quite a few of those. We,
Although I will say the best sandwich I've ever had in my
pork
life.
chop sandwich?
Best
The
sandwich
other
I've ever
was
had in
money.
my life was the pork chop sandwich we had from a street vendor that I couldn't even tell you where it was at this point
not a
because
clue.
we were so out of our minds. But it was a street vendor selling pork chop sandwiches, grilling, had the grill on the side of the road, just grilling pork chop sandwiches. Best sandwich I've had
It
in my
was
life.
amazing. It was honestly, it's probably the best sandwich I've ever had. And we could have sold our tickets that night too.
Oh,
we
God,
could have
yeah.
made it. We
That
could
we
have
could've sold them for a lot.
Yeah.
Interesting street vendor food, though. Because
right?
pork chops are
amazing.
I mean, first of all, pork chops are so easy to fuck up.
Oh yeah, you can if you cook them just a second too long, they become
Right.
dry.
Right.
These were fucking phenomenal. I can't even tell you how good a sandwich that was. I've never had a sandwich that good since.
This
Yeah,
is
it
like
was-
the
it
How I
was-
Met Your Mother episode with the burger bar.
Oh yeah, we need
Yeah.
to go find it. We need to go find it. Absolutely.
I don't think we could at this point.
I don't either. But that sandwich was absolutely amazing.
You guys just need a Regis.
Yeah.
He's dead, man.
That's why I said a Regis. You don't need
Cross
Regis.
him off then.
Cross him off.
Wow, you heartless fuck.
Cross him off. Then. Oh shit.
I hope somebody got that Major League reference.
Hopefully somebody did, because I didn't.
It was a great Major League reference, but it was also really funny because of who it was and what it was.
Wow.
Yeah, that was. All right. Talk about derailing.
Yeah, that'll do it. You need a drop for that. What the hell, man? Let's go.
Do you have a train crash on there?
I was too busy laughing to even make a drop on that one. But here, I'll throw one in there for you.
We do have a couple of comments on Instagram. Joe, you'll appreciate this. Jay has commented that the Bills suck.
Dynamite.
You
Dynamite dropping.
You with the Bills hoodie, you're a loser.
Fair enough.
You're a bandwagon fan.
Okay. These are Dynamite critiques, guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say I disagree with the bandwagon thing though. Like Jay, if you're listening, I love you, bro. Boston Jay. But I do disagree with the bandwagon thing, and I know your comments are coming from being a New England Patriots fan, and obviously the Bills are a rivalry. I get that, but I disagree with the bandwagon thing because the Bills haven't really been anything. Like they haven't accomplished
You
anything.
have to first be a wagon before you can have a bandwagon.
Yeah. I mean, there has to be a wagon to jump on,
And that's why I will say in both of your situations, it's part of the reason why I brought it up. Neither one of you, in my eyes, are bandwagon hopper because Joe, you adopted an 0-16 team at the point you adopted them. So, like, there's a lot of things that could be said about that, but at the same time, you left just as much of a dog shit franchise. And Chris, yours is an improvement as much as the Bills aren't great. So, yeah, like, I have no room to sit here and talk about either one of those moves.
I mean, if you look at it, the Bills are on I think both teams were on the same kind of upswing, or at least visually upswing. I think the Bills were a little bit farther along than the Browns were when I jumped on, but it's one of those things where you just kind of attach yourself to a team that hasn't won anything yet, but has some good young talent on the team that you kind of gravitate to, and you take a liking to, and you're like, all right, I kind of like these guys. I kind of like the way they play, and then you jump on, and you're like, all right, well, this is my team now, you know. And when you live in a city like Detroit with a shit franchise that alienates their fan base every year, and they never lose a fan base because the ones who are so loyal bring their kids up to be fans.
That's I believe it's child abuse.
Right, but yet they alienate fans every year. So fans in Detroit either have to take a B team, which has been a lot of talk about this week. You have a B, a C, a D, and an E.
No, but again, at the same time, are any of these teams, with the exception of New England, and that was strictly for the purpose of adopting a winning team?
Yeah. No, they're not.
Are any of them like bandwagons?
No, because Jacksonville, no. They've never, no.
Right, and it's not like I just drop these teams in the years that they suck and pick them back up.
Right.
Like
the Raiders are historically good, but they've been bad in recent years.
Right.
So no, your teams aren't bandwagon, but Detroit fans have to pick a B team, or have to just completely give up on the Lions, which is what Chris and I have done, and then you pick your new team. And sometimes you wait a few years to pick your team, and you see what you gravitate to, and you see what you like, and what players you gravitate to, and you're like, all right, I like this team now. That's what you have to do.
The other interesting thing with sports and picking teams and everything, and Joe, you and I remember for sure, I don't remember if Chris was in on the conversation or not, but you and I have talked a few times about you like players more than you actually like teams anymore. And that's how a lot of people are, especially with fantasy sports being a thing.
Well, and in this day and age, I think people are more open to the players. So the players are more open to the people. Like, you have more avenues to see players and see their personalities with Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and all these things. You gravitate towards the players more than you do teams now. And I think that's kind of this generation. And me, it's more for the fantasy aspect.
Right.
That's how I kind of changed. But the day and age we live in, I think you do gravitate more towards players than you do teams. And I think teams in general are losing overall fans, as far as like the diehards, the ones where, you know, our parents grew up rooting for them and they were just diehard fans and they would go to every, you know, it's not really like that anymore.
No, you're right.
I think it also just because there's so many more options now when it comes to sports, and especially just on TV alone.
Right.
I mean, the fandom's not there like you said for our parents and even us growing up. Yeah. Like, you know, you were so excited to watch a game, and now with this generation,
10 channels. One of them's going to show the Lions game for you.
Right.
Like, that's a big deal.
But now, like, this generation that's growing up now, you can turn on the TV and there's like 50 different channels of whatever you want to watch.
You can watch Red Zone. You can watch all the
exactly. So
all the 1 o'clock games at the same time.
Yeah, and I that speaks to your point, Joe, about how guys, you know, they're more rooting. And this is kind of what I say is like the quote unquote jock sniffer fan. Like they like a certain player and they'll root for that team. Like,
Okay.
you see, like, people like LeBron. Oh, go Lakers. Or,
Yeah.
like, when he went to Miami. Oh, I'm a Heat fan. No, you're not. You're a LeBron fan. Stop
Right.
that.
Right.
You know?
And
Just be open about.
I'm open about that.
Yeah. Well, just be open about the fact you're a fan of the player and not the team. You know, I mean, that's like you're rooting for the player. You're not really rooting for the team.
Right.
Yeah, you're rooting for the team he's currently on because that's what team he's on. But you're not really a fan of that team.
It's like Michigan fan who rooted for the Patriots because Brady was their quarterback. It's like, you're not a Patriots fan. You're a Brady fan.
Yeah.
I am now.
Right.
Like if you've been a fan that long, you become a fan.
That's
like
fair.
You were a fan for 20 years.
Right. So but yeah, I wasn't a fan before that, and I became a fan because of Brady, 100%.
Right.
But over the years, rooting for Brady and rooting for him to win, it's paid off. I've become a Patriots fan, so I am a huge Patriots fan at this point.
Right.
It's been 20 years. I'm not going to not be a Patriots fan anymore.
No, you've put in
because
your- yeah.
because they're never going to treat me like the Lions did. So
No,
I'm never
no.
going to give up on them.
They could treat you exactly like the Lions do for the next 40 years. They've still treated you better than the Lions have.
Exactly.
So-
Exactly.
All right, let's pay some bills here. Are you tired of going from dealership to dealership looking for an automobile or boat? Get in touch with Land and Sea Motorsports. They specialize in finding you the car, truck, or boat that you're in the market for. At Land and Sea Motorsports, tell them the type of vehicle and features you want that will fit your budget. They also offer shrink wrapping and winterization for all boats and jet skis. If your boat or vehicle, sorry, I have you in the background doing things that's throwing me off. If your boat or vehicle need any repairs or cleaning, they offer a full detail division as well. So give them a call at 586-484-9798 or visit their website at landandseamotorsports.com. That's landandseamotorsports.com.
Sorry, bro. Pay no attention to me. I was trying to communicate without getting
No,
into the
I
microphone.
know what you were trying to do.
Yeah.
It just the motions in the back. I was like, okay, what is he doing? What am I doing?
So yeah,
And we've also noted how I'm incredibly difficult to volume. So
Yeah,
I was getting
no, it wasn't.
self-conscious about that.
yeah. No, that had nothing to do with your volume. I would have been like this with you, but no, we were just talking about where we're going to go with the show next, and I think we won't spend a lot of time on it, but we're going to touch on the NBA Finals.
Awesome.
And did this cement LeBron's legacy? Did it need cementing at this point?
Like, cementing in what regard?
Well, that's been a big topic, right? So
Does it mean he's better than MJ? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, no.
That conversation needs to stop.
So
at this point.
I'm not trying to say that. I'm trying to say that there are people, LeBron backers, and there's people that are talking about it right now. That's the conversation. Did this cement his legacy? Did this make him the GOAT? Did this finally put him in the talks of the GOAT? Did he need this, or was he already in the position he's going to be in all time?
If he had lost this final, I don't think there was any coming back from that.
No, there wouldn't be.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. So I think winning this is definitely better than losing it.
Right.
In that sense, though, I don't think to me,
Winning it did nothing for him, in my opinion.
and that's where I'm at. Well, losing it would have been worse. So I think winning it makes him better in people's minds than losing it.
Right.
But I don't think this really changed where I see him on the all-time list.
No, I'm
in
not
my
on that
opinion.
one. Like, one of the national guys put out there, we got to stop using the term GOAT, GOAT, and start using GOAT, like greatest of their era. And I thought about that for a second. I'm like, I see there's some relevance to it. I can see that. So is LeBron the greatest of his era? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any question about that.
Yeah.
I mean, you even look at the few years where him and Kobe overlapped each other. Kobe's Kobe, but Kobe had a hard time keeping up with LeBron in the games that they had to face off against each other.
Yep.
He was at the down end of his career. LeBron was coming up.
Yep.
Like, that's just what happens. We
Me-
don't
me-
live in a world where we can take a 20-some-year-old Mike, a 20-some-year-old Kobe, and a 20-some-year-old LeBron and be like, here, show us who the best one is.
Now for me personally, if I were to rank, if we were to just give me those three players, so Michael, LeBron, Kobe. For me, I would rank them Michael, Kobe, LeBron.
Okay.
That's
I would
my
agree.
that's my personal ranking. Now it's based off of what I think is a killer instinct by two of them,
Yeah.
and the lack of a killer instinct and the lack of a leadership skills by one of them.
That's
And
fair.
that's my opinion. Now, a lot of people don't like me for that opinion. It is what it is. You have your opinion. That's fine. But that's the way I would rank those three.
That's fair. And you know how much I hate Jordan. But I would put him number one. I would absolutely put him number one. I would put LeBron number two simply because I think in that era that Jordan played in, I think he still would have been good. I do. I don't just because of his body type.
Okay.
I think he would have been fantastic. Kobe, maybe not so much. With that, how physical that game was, you know. I mean, I know he had a kind of similar body type to Michael.
It's borderline comparable to Isaiah, though.
That's fair.
He's almost not that. I mean, Kobe was 6'2". It's not that he's undersized by any means, but in a league like that, he kind of was a smaller guy.
Right. It's just I don't know. I would put LeBron ahead of Kobe. That's just my personal opinion, and I hate saying it because I despise LeBron James as a basketball player.
Yeah.
If we're going just in order of who the best players are, Joe, I'm with you spot on. It's Mike, Kobe, and then Bron. But at the same time, if I'm a GM and I'm building a team, each one of them has something different that you can highlight to build a team around. That's why I hate this Kobe or this Mike versus LeBron argument.
And not to mention, you have to take into account different eras. You have to.
Yeah.
Because if we're really going to go that route, then Bill Russell is the best basketball player that's ever played the game.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's as simple as that. Or you want to throw Oscar Robertson in there? Fine. But
Wilt Chamberlain?
Yeah.
A lot of people say Wilt.
You gotta take into account eras.
Wilt had the numbers on and off the court.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. But that's the thing. Like you look at that era that Jordan played in, it was significantly more physical than the game is 10 years ago to now. You know, it's like you see all these guys averaging triple doubles. Well, fucking of course they're gonna average triple doubles. You can't fucking guard them. You can't touch them. You can't do anything.
Yeah.
And if you remember, like back in 2004, LeBron couldn't take on a team like Detroit.
No, because they could actually guard him. They could actually
they played physical basketball then.
And it was a different game. Like, I'm sorry, that's why the numbers, the way the game is played now, are so inflated to me.
Yeah,
because it's just like playing street ball. Like, I want to say street ball because you can actually be physical in street ball, but it's kind of like how the NFL is with quarterbacks. Like, it's like just give them a flag.
Yep.
You know, you can't touch anybody. You can't guard anybody.
Speaking of which, and I know
and everybody just stands around the fucking 3-point line.
Yeah.
Alex Smith.
Oh. Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. So happy to see him back.
So there's a couple things with the NFL that we didn't touch on. And the poor Dak. I feel bad for Dak.
Man.
I feel bad for Dak.
I feel bad anytime a guy bets on himself and it ends up like that.
Yeah. So you guys know I'm not the biggest Dak Prescott backer on the field, but from all accounts, as a person, he's a really good dude. And he bet on himself, and unfortunately, he had that gruesome injury.
Bro. Yeah, it was bad. That was disgusting.
That was bad.
Is it wrong to compare it to Alex Smith? Because it didn't look all that different.
No, it broke the bone, broke the skin. So no, it's a pretty bad injury, bro. I don't think it's on the level of Alex quite.
Well,
there,
yeah,
but it's almost there.
Yeah,
it's almost.
At least for me, I said my prayers for Dak. I hope everything works out, and Alex had to deal with the infection and everything afterwards.
Not only was Alex's career in jeopardy, his life was in jeopardy.
Yeah. Like realistically, at this point, when he has that injury, you're worrying about him being dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and this guy just took fucking snaps on Sunday.
Yeah, to see Alex Smith come back was I don't know about you guys, but when I saw him come into the game, I kind of got goosebumps.
Yeah,
it was one of those really cool moments in sports that really makes you. It makes you enjoy sports more.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those reasons why I love sports, because it gives me those goosebump moments. It gives me those moments of, like, just pure joy.
Yeah.
You know, and it wasn't, why? Why am I so joyful about some guy I don't know coming into a game of teams I don't give a shit about? But it was the battle he took to get there.
Because there's very few things in today's world that can give somebody unquestionable happiness.
Yeah.
And just seeing somebody who doesn't appear to be a bag of shit succeed at something.
And seeing
but you know what happens?
What?
Is you have that bag of shit try to like dog you for it.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh, fuck, this doesn't mean anything. This is such bullshit. Dude, fuck off.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything to you.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit if it doesn't mean anything
me
to you.
happy, it makes me happy. Like,
right.
I don't care if I walk up the street and see a sunflower and it makes me happy. If it makes me happy, it makes me happy.
Right. I don't need your fucking opinion
Right.
about it. I just...
Things
You know,
that
if
don't
it
make me happy usually
Like,
are those people's opinion.
Why are you such a miserable cunt? Like I don't get it.
Fuck up, you cunt!
Exactly. Yes. 100%. Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, it was one of those moments that it really, it makes me enjoy sports more, things like that, and that was one of those things we text back and forth about a little bit.
Yeah.
Really cool moment to see his family there too. His wife was so freaking nervous when she was standing there with her hand over her face,
And we
His
found out
kids look nervous.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely got his leg tested out. He got sacked a few times
Yeah,
by
he got
Aaron
hit.
Donald.
Aaron Donald rode his back at one point.
Even Aaron Donald was like, that motherfucker's leg's strong. He's good. He's good.
He's good to go.
Yeah, all right. I mean, if you want to get it tested, that's probably the guy to get tested by is Aaron Donald. I was like, oh, shit, man.
But yeah, you were just talking about quarterbacks, and that jumped into my head. So
Oh, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I totally forgot about it because I don't care about the Washington Football Club. But
the Skins, formerly known as the Redskins,
the foreskins.
the Foreskins.
So here's another question about football, which
Yeah,
I know we kind of got off the topic and then we're back on it. So this is one I came across. Which 4-1 team is the most surprising to you guys?
The Bears.
Bears, the Rams, or the Browns?
The Bears. That is one of the worst 4-1 teams I've ever seen. That team is terrible.
They are
I mean,
bad.
I
They are
want
bad.
my answer to be Cleveland because of where they've been and how it's been consistent that even with essentially the same roster last year, they couldn't put things together.
Right.
So it is surprising that to me that they're 4-1. But Mitch Trubisky / Nick Foles,
It's amazing.
how do you have a win, much less a winning record?
Well, it's,
I
one,
mean,
one of the
was
wins
gonna-
is Detroit.
Yeah, that's.
So yeah.
And the other one's Atlanta.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Actually, you're right. Yep.
So
That's how you have a winning record.
it's
okay.
But yeah, that is by far to me the team that's most surprising that has a 4-1 record because your quarterback play has been less than optimal, we'll say.
Yeah.
But they've gotten hot in the right, like at the right time, and played the right opponent to have it go well.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, but you actually look at that team and you're like, God, this team is garbage.
They
Yeah,
are.
exactly. Yes. Yeah. So that's my surprise 4-1.
That's what I said. I want my answer to be Cleveland, but in all honesty, it's Chicago.
Yeah.
Bears.
I would agree with that. It's,
Bears.
It's the Bears.
Bears.
The Bears.
Bears.
The Bears.
Now I'll tell you what's not garbage. My buddy Jason Stilner at Flagstar Bank. Now, if you're going to purchase a home or even refinance your existing home, give him a call. He'll give you the top-notch service that you're looking for. Flagstar Bank they're currently offering a 0% down home purchase program. Now, the program won't last long, but the rates are incredibly low. So give my buddy Jason Stiltner a call today at 248-675-0675. Trust me, you don't want to miss this great opportunity. The number again is 248-675-0675. Flagstar Bank is an equal housing lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 27546.
All right, buddy.
Yeah.
All right.
Congratulations on being able to read better than me.
Hooked on phonics work for me.
I think the segue was good. That's all.
The segue was money. I wanted to give him a clap on that one.
As soon as you made the segue, I looked over at Frank and I was like, that was good. I like that.
He looks like a natural over here.
Thanks, Specs Howard. Appreciate it.
I was gonna say, look at your Specs Howard schooling coming through. So another thing I kind of want to touch on. We've talked about this for a few weeks now, and we haven't really brought it up.
Yep.
Is bad calls by refs.
Oh, in sports?
In like just in sports in general.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's going on, man? Like it seems like refs and officiating in all sports across the board have just taken a real downturn.
Yeah,
man, it's
like, bad. It's really bad. You see it in baseball constantly, especially with home plate umpires. Like, I saw something on MLB Network a few days ago, and honestly, these catchers now they're tricking the home plate umpires by how they don't like crouch anymore. Like a lot of these catchers, they have like one knee on the ground.
Yeah,
and especially if it's a low pitch, they have the ability to like frame it to bring it up, but it fools the umpire. Now, if you're an umpire, wouldn't you watch tape on this or something and figure, all right, if it's low, you got to be able to see that,
right?
But no, you're you're going to continue to call it a strike. And not to mention some of these umpires, just their strike zone is just outrageous. It's like, so basically now you have to throw it either over the heart of the plate for them to call it a strike, or you can throw it like a foot outside or inside and they'll call it a strike.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, I'm sorry, it's time for robot umps. It's time. To me, it's past time for robot
I agree
umpires.
with you.
Yeah, I think
you have a world where you can't necessarily trust everybody's opinion, and you want people's opinion to judge sports.
Right. Like I'm sick and tired of the argument. Oh, but the human element. It's past time for the human element. It's done.
Mm-hmm.
Like these games are too fast, and there's too much shit going on for the human element anymore. Like you keep it in the game, that's fine, but we have the technology to get this shit right. Like why are we okay with not getting it right?
Right.
I don't understand that.
I think that's my question is, if we have the technology to get it right, why are we okay with a subpar product?
Because that's the way it's always been. Well, adapt.
Yeah, well-
Shit changes, man.
Okay, well, you're driving a fucking car right now, aren't you? Yeah, that's not the way it always was.
Right.
Right.
I was going to say it's not horse-powered.
Right.
Right,
even
exactly.
though they say it's horse-powered, it's not. But a lot of these people you think would be riding, horse-drawn carriages. Well, that's the way it was. It's the way it's always been. Bro, society adapts. That's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And for you to not adapt in sports makes no sense. If you have the technology to get it right, get it the fuck right.
Yeah.
That's to me. That's what makes sense. Just get it right.
No, that makes too much sense for people.
It does.
And honestly, I think why the people say that is they want something to bitch about if their team gets screwed.
Yeah. Well,
They want that
Lions fan.
Yeah, they want that built-in excuse. Oh, the refs screwed us. Oh, the X League hates us. No, they don't.
Yeah. The NFL hates the Lions and the refs screw us. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And I've started hearing that in hockey now too.
Absolutely.
The NHL hates the Red Wings.
Oh God, yeah.
Are you kidding me? The Red Wings are actually the biggest moneymaker.
It's one of your
in the
premier.
NHL.
It's one of your premier franchises. But yes, by all means, the NHL hates you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I believe that there's refs who have vendettas against individual people? Sure.
Of
Yes.
course, that's in every sport.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And growing up playing youth sports, I even know that.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, trust me, I was the furthest thing from a pleasure to
Yeah,
officiate.
there was a
hockey.
referee I had. We had a beef every time here after game. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Every time I had the puck and I had to clear it, I would fire it right at him.
Yeah, and those
Fuck him. Fuck that guy.
Fuck him.
those
Fuck that guy.
those people exist in sports.
Yep.
And you can't do anything about that.
No.
But to sit here and reasonably think that this guy, his whole intention is to go out there and just fuck the Lions.
Right.
Right. It's like,
You stupid.
it is
Yes,
stupid.
it's
Yes.
stupid.
Stupid.
You stupid.
We gave Joe these buttons.
Yeah,
He's just too excited now.
But yeah, that's definitely one. It's all these. But like I said, I think it's just people want a reason to bitch. Mm-hmm. They want that built-in excuse if their team loses, and that's fine. That's all well and good. I mean, you gotta. Have there been certain calls to any team, not just the Lions or not just one of our favorite teams, but in general, that have just totally screwed the team? And absolutely, look at the Rams 2 years
Yeah,
ago.
for sure.
I mean, I don't like the Rams, but they got boned.
They got
Or the Saints got boned. Sorry, the Saints got boned.
The Saints got boned against
in
the
that
Rams.
Minnesota-
Against, yeah. No, let's say the NFC Championship game.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
was
the
thinking
Saints
about
got the Saints got
Minnesota
boned
game.
in that game. I mean,
I was
hard,
gonna
like
say it's the
no
Saints.
Lou boned.
Yeah, because
And-
that pass interference call that they didn't call was
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, like I don't understand.
Like the guy took his wallet. Like it was a mugging, and they didn't call anything.
But it's calls like that we're kind of talking about. You're just kind of like you scratch your head and you're like, how in the fuck is that not a penalty? Or how did
Yeah.
you not call that? Or how did you call that?
yeah,
you know?
that's
That's the other thing I would like to see, to be honest with you. Put refs in front of the media afterwards.
That's the biggest thing. You got to hold these guys accountable. Absolutely,
There's a certain degree of accountability when you have to answer questions after a game.
well.
Absolutely.
So it's not even just bad calls like that. So there was a call, and I remember this because it sticks out because it's the Browns. And I was watching that game. I think it was the first week. There was a pass down the sideline to OBJ. Caught it, was clearly in bounds, and then fell out of bounds. They called it incomplete pass. They had to use a challenge to then get that play where it was supposed to be. And watching it in real time, everyone could see that it was in that he caught it in bounds.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things where it's like, what are you looking at?
Did he complete the process?
Yeah, the process, the process. Yeah, no, it was one of those occasions where you're like, everyone saw that it was complete, and it was, what are you looking at? Because you're literally right there.
Right.
You're 2 feet away from where they're at and where his feet are coming down. How do you not see that?
Because the dude's 65 years old.
Well, and
Trying to keep up with a 28-year-old.
that's part of the problem. Is the NFL refs for sure.
NHL too.
And NHL and in college football, they're older. Like you're trying to chase down these premier athletes who are just insane specimens of their species,
right?
And you're trying to chase them down as like a 65-year-old guy. You're just not. You're not gonna. It's not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen anyway.
You like look at baseball for instance.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you have the third base umpire trying to make a call on a steal.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time he gets over to the bag and gets in position to make that call, dude's been there. Mm-hmm. He's already been there. But this ump is 65 years old, looks like me. The fuck are you trying to get in position for? Right. You're not there. Like you could be standing there. You can't turn your head fast enough to catch this kid, much less move your entire body that fast.
No, it's just the state of officiating in sports in general it's atrocious. It's absolutely atrocious.
Yeah,
and I think Frank, that's the best point to it. You got to hold these guys accountable, and I think you'll see some change. You'll absolutely see some change because now these guys have to be responsible for the shitty calls that they make.
I'm not going to say that you're going to get the answers you want from these questions.
No.
But you have a guy who's going to go home and go, fuck, I am so tired of them asking me about that. I'm not going to do that anymore.
Like I gotta get better at my job.
Right.
You know.
And that's
until that happens,
how it works.
Until that happens, we're going to continue to get shitty calls.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at it this way, it gives us something to talk about. So
exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
The truth.
Oh.
Yeah. You know what a shitty call is not? Is a call to Go To Pro Plumbing.
It technically is a shitty call, though, isn't it?
Well, technically it would be a shitty call, but it's not a shitty call.
Yes.
It's the best call.
It is a call if you're in a shitty situation.
That is a great play on
Yes.
words. Yes.
So,
well done, sir.
Go To Pro Plumbing.
Excellent segue, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris's was better.
Yours was better. But if you've had any plumbing. Wow.
Plumbing.
See, now
that was shitty.
Now I can't talk.
Plumbing problems.
If you've had any plumbing problems, marriage.
All right. Take two.
So, if you've had any plumbing problems, you're definitely not alone. The next time you have an issue, there's only one place to call: Go To Pro Plumbing. They're a local family-owned company with 15 years of experience. Based in Centerline, they serve the Metro Detroit area, keeping your pipes clean and flowing with fair prices and happy customers. Are you sick of? You laugh every time on that one. Are you sick of having to take a day off of work, waiting? You're like 5, waiting for a plumber. Then call Go To Pro Plumbing. They're open 7 days a week for all your plumbing needs. The knowledgeable and experienced staff will keep you informed of their progress every step of the way to make sure your experience is as smooth as possible. Call Go To Pro Plumbing at 586-250-2881. That's 586-250-2881. Go To Pro Plumbing. When your pipes won't flow, call the pro. And now,
every time.
You laugh at that every single time.
It is the one unfortunate thing about us.
Yeah. Listen, it is.
We're all 30s, 40s with the maturity level of a 12-year-old.
Every time, man.
And every time I go to read that, I keep in mind that you're going to laugh. And every single time, it still throws me off.
See, the funny thing is I forget he laughs every time. So then you say it, and I go, it is funny. And then I look up, and then Chris is laughing already.
It's there, man. I just can't help it.
All right. Speaking of time, you know what it's time for?
No, what's that?
It's time for the NFL picks.
Oh, sounds good. Let's do that.
It's time!
NFL picks.
NFL picks. Brought to you by.
Yeah, brought to you by. So we all kind of had a decent week. We all finished 4-2 for our last week's picks.
I don't know.
Technically, because we still have a game going right now.
Yeah, so we're all 4-2 right now
with
this Buffalo game in progress.
And it's you two versus him.
Yes.
Him being me.
As Frank took the Titans and me and Joe both took the Bills.
Yes.
So
We'll see how I'm gonna win.
We'll see how that pans out. Oh, he kicked it. Laces in.
Laces out, Dan.
Wow. And he made it.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
He did. Okay.
Nicely done.
Oh, that's a hell of a name too.
Yeah.
Borgia
not going to work here anymore?
Borgia gonna kick it with the laces in, apparently.
Right.
Borgia something Quez.
Oh. So let's we got the week 6 picks here. Since it's kind of a iffy schedule this week, so we did the best we could. And I feel we should start off with the Green Bay Packers heading down to Tampa to take on Tom Brady and the Bucs.
Yeah, and I will say I think we came up with a good slate of games, even though the week is not a great week for picks.
It's a great week if you want to pick loser battles.
Right. And last week was kind of the same way, too, even though there was a lot of upsets this last week.
The Raiders.
The Raiders.
That was just a beautiful game.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Even
though I picked the Chiefs to win that one.
Well, so did I, but it was an enjoyable game to watch. It was fun.
Hell yeah.
I think, speaking of fun, I think this game will be fun. I think the Packers and at the Bucs is going to be a fun game to watch. I think it's going to be a little bit of a slugfest, but I have to go with the Packers in this game. I don't think the Buccaneers have as solid of a team as they would like. That defense is playing well, but they're not to the caliber that they need to be to go up against an Aaron Rodgers in the way he's playing right now. I've got to take Green Bay in that game.
I will also take the Green Bay Packers. Watching the Buccaneers this past week, there's something just off about that team.
Is it safe to say that team is incredibly average?
Yeah, there's something just off about that team. I'm not quite sure what it is. I don't know if it's Brady himself.
Tom Brady looks lost
Like,
without Bill Belichick.
It was amazing. How do you not know how many downs are left? Like what the fuck? But yeah, they looked honestly. You're right, average against a bad Bears team.
He's holding up the 4 fingers, looking at his hands. Like, I have hands.
So I think the Aaron Rodgers revenge tour continues, and honestly, I think they win this game handily. Yeah,
I don't even think it's going to be a fun game to watch.
I'm taking the Packers.
I'm right there with you. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to prove to everybody that he's the best quarterback in the league right now, regardless of what stats say.
See, and this is where I disagree with you only on one aspect. I really think it will be a good game. I think Tampa will actually keep pace. I think it'll be a decent game to watch, but Green Bay is going to end up taking the game for sure.
Okay,
that's fair. I mean, it's only the line's only 2.
Yeah,
so
the line's 2 on that game.
Yeah,
2.
Oh shit! I wish I bet.
Packers are giving up 2 going into Tampa, so I mean it's not a lot. Truthfully,
I would take that with the spread.
That's right. Like I said, I just think Aaron Rodgers is on a mission this year to destroy
I agree,
any and everybody in his path.
He is. He absolutely is.
I mean,
and he gets Devontae Adams back this week.
Oh, that he does.
Russ is going to run away with the MVP, in my opinion, but Aaron Rodgers is out to prove that he's still probably the most talented quarterback.
You saw what he did Sunday night. Mm-hmm. That's the one I know you wanted to talk about. I can't believe we didn't get to it.
I know,
but
we will. We will. Yeah, that call.
Which we slightly disagree on this.
Yeah, but that call to not go for that field goal in that Seattle game, to me, was just a bad call. Minnesota should have kicked that field goal. You make it an 8-point lead, and even if they drive down the field and score, they have to score the touchdown and get the 2-point conversion. Which now you're kicking the field goal first. If you don't kick the field goal, you go for the first down and you don't get it. They go down and score. Then you have to come back down and kick the field goal anyway. So you're just preemptively kicking the field goal for if they drive down and score.
You don't give up points against good teams.
Absolutely not.
Take the free
Absolutely
3 points.
Not. Yeah, it was. Like I said, it was one of
and
the worst.
And it's not even free points at this point because you can't trust the fucking kickers.
Yeah. And like I said, it was one of the worst calls I think I've ever seen. It was just. It was pure math, bro. It was math.
That man is a beast right there.
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry's a beast.
Yeah, guy's a monster.
Okay.
He is a monster playing in a league with boys.
Right.
As our show does, we got derailed again.
Yes. Let's go to the Cleveland Browns versus division rival Pittsburgh Steelers. Game's in Pittsburgh.
To be honest with you, I don't know who to take in this one. Like I said, Cleveland's surprised me with their 4-1 record. I'm not fully sold on them being legit at this point. And Pittsburgh's Pittsburgh. They play great some weeks. They play like absolute dog shit some weeks. So I'm going to go with the numbers and just take Cleveland.
I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think their defense is... I think this is the best defense that Cleveland's faced all year, besides Baltimore.
Yeah, I was going to say besides Baltimore.
Yeah. And I'm still not 100% sold on the Cleveland Browns. I'm not. So I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. I know it's a division game, and obviously the crowd is not even really a factor anymore. Give me the Steelers.
Okay, I am sold on the Browns because I believe they have their head coach that they need. I believe that's all it took. But with that being said, I am going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers in this game. I think it comes down to what you said, Chris. I think that defense is one of the best in the league. They're right up there with Baltimore, and I think they get after the quarterback pretty well. Which, if you can get to Baker, and you can start chasing him out of the pocket, that's where things break down a little bit. Now, if he goes back to being the Baker that was there in his rookie year before he got ruined, then he can make some plays on the run, and he can make some plays running out of the pocket. But from what I've seen the last couple years from him out of the pocket, it's not the same as it was in his rookie year. So he
he doesn't have guys that are wide open.
Well, I mean, in his rookie year he didn't either, but he was making plays, and I think something got to him, and it's just he hasn't been the same.
Getting hit by grown men.
Well, he hasn't been the same since his whole rookie year. He was playing pretty damn well, and it hasn't been the same since.
We'll say reckless.
Yeah.
You know what? I watched a clip on NFL's Facebook, and it was Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow was mic'd up this past weekend, and the refs were giving him shit about the way he had slid.
Oh yeah, that was
it was
bad.
an ugly slide.
Yeah, that was bad. That was bad.
But when he gets up, he looks at him and he goes, I'm learning. And I think that's kind of what has gone on with Baker. He's learned the things you can do, learn the things you can't do. The problem is he has to learn what things you really could do if you had guys blocking for you.
And he's had a rough learning curve. He's had like 4 different head coaches,
right,
four different offensive coordinators. So there's a lot you gotta, as a quarterback, there's a lot you have to learn in those systems. It's not just learning the plays. Like you have to be the coach on the field for this stuff.
And his right and wrong isn't necessarily right or wrong because he doesn't know what a real wrong is.
And no excuses for him. He has to play better. But I do think Pittsburgh takes this game. I am sold on Cleveland. I love my Browns, but I think Pittsburgh wins this game in Pittsburgh. So yeah.
Rams, Niners.
Ooh.
Rams.
Oh.
Niners. Chris, you and I were talking about it. Joe, I don't know if you were watching the game or what was going on, but Chris and I were the ones mainly texting back and forth about it.
Yeah.
Jimmy G looked terrible.
Yeah, see, I watched
bad.
I watched the 1 o'clock games, but I didn't see much of the 4 o'clocks. I was back in time to watch the late game. But yeah, apparently he was god awful in that game. And from what I've seen on the stats afterwards, he was bad. I think that team has a bounce back though. I don't think that's the 49ers team you're going to see, even though they have a lot of injuries on that team. Most of them are on defense, not really a lot on offense right now. They got Mostert back. They have Debo back there. They have Ayuk. I think they come out and play a different game this week, and I'm going to take the Niners at home this week against the Rams.
I'm going to take the Rams. Watching that game, and Joe, especially that I've never been a Jimmy G guy.
No, you hate him.
I legit think New England was watching that game going, thank God we have Brian Hoyer.
I've never been a Jimmy G guy, and this season is kind of proving it. Even during the Super Bowl, he was not very good, in my opinion.
When he was in New England, I liked him.
Fair enough. I think the Rams. I think they finally started to get their offense humming a little bit. and especially with all just the decimated San Francisco defense.
Yeah,
give me the Rams. And I think Aaron Donald's going to have a field day with Jimmy G. I do. Yeah.
Is he going to start?
From what I hear, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't heard any different that they're going to start Beathard.
Yeah,
so.
Jimmy G's the starter. Lots of starting quarterbacks have had bad games and gotten yanked. It is what it is. Jimmy G is their starter.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. I like it. We're differing on picks. I dig it.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, not like last week where we all went for it, Dave.
Right.
Basically. How the hell did we get that one? Oh yeah, Cardinals Cowboys.
Yeah, that's the original Monday night game.
The original Monday night game, yes.
Yeah. Who wants to take this one first, boys?
Have at it, brother.
All right.
Can I ask before we start who's taking snaps in Dallas now? I don't know who their backup was.
Oh, Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle.
Dalton.
Ooh.
Yeah, the Red Rifle.
Yeah, Andy Dalton. And actually, he came in and looked pretty good. He was 9 for 11 for 111 yards.
He was never a terrible quarterback. He was never good, but he was never terrible either.
And I don't think that offense is going to miss too many steps with Andy Dalton being in the quarterback, other than in place of Dak. They have the wide receivers. They have one of the best running backs in the league. That offense is still going to hum. It's all about that defense. And it's been about that defense from day one, because Dak has had to throw for 450 yards almost every game in order to try and win games. So it comes down to that defense. And I think Arizona has enough on offense to take out that defense, and I'm going to take Arizona.
I think Hop's going to have a huge game. And I think Arizona's going to make a statement. And I think it's going to send Dallas into a panic.
And if Arizona's smart, they start Chase Edmonds instead of Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake looks like one of the worst running backs in the NFL right now.
I think we got a clean sweep on this one. I'm taking the Cardinals as well. Arizona actually looked good this past week, which is, I think they're finally starting to get it together.
Yeah.
On offense, and especially against that just horrific Cowboys defense. Good Lord. I mean, you think the Lions defense is bad? You look at this defense, you're like, what? How is their defense worse than the Detroit Lions? And statistically, they are worse than the Detroit Lions.
They are.
Swiss cheese has better coverage than them.
It's so bad.
It's so bad. And not to mention, I don't think Andy Dalton can throw for 500 yards without throwing interceptions.
No, he's not that good.
I don't. So.
No, I will say he can get the job done, but he will throw a couple picks. Which
turning the ball over, man.
Exactly. You turn the ball over, you're in trouble.
Especially
with a team that can score points.
Can I throw one more question to you guys on?
Yes.
On the Dallas topic?
Yes.
Stafford? Yes. No.
No.
Good trade? Bad trade?
I think it'd be a good trade if the Lions could pull it off, but it's not going to happen before the trade deadline. Okay. If it happens, it'll happen after the season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't see that happening during the season.
It's just something I had heard a lot of talk about.
They probably take like a 5th round pick for him. Bob Quinn would be like, sounds good.
Honestly, if they wanted to send us like a 3rd round pick, I'd send it to them in a heartbeat.
The NFL trade deadline is the worst trade deadline in any sport because nothing happens.
Yeah,
it's rare that you see
3 weeks away from now.
3 weeks from today, actually.
Yeah.
So nothing happens in the NFL during the season for the most part. You might get a couple trades, but that's about it, and nothing for trade deadline. So no, if that trade happens, it happens after the season.
Okay, I was just interested.
Yeah, this is my opinion.
Yeah, no, that's what we were looking for.
The other Monday night game, Kansas City, Buffalo.
The new Monday night game, which was supposed to be a Thursday night game.
Which was supposed to be a Thursday game, yes.
I would not want to be any team going and playing Kansas City right now after losing this week.
That's fair.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
And it's nothing against Buffalo. I think it's a loser situation for anyone who's going. So I'm just going to take KC just on the fact that they had a rough loss last week, and they're going to be shooting daggers this week, I think.
I think I'm going to echo that, and I'm going to take KC because of the last 2 weeks they haven't looked good. And we talked about it a little bit. I don't know if we talked about it on the show or not. We talk about a lot of things on and off the show. Mm-hmm. We talked about how there might be a game plan now to stop the Chiefs. And Buffalo does have a pretty good defense, but I think the Chiefs come out, and Andy Reid is a good enough coach. They come out, they change some things up. I think Mecole Hardman is going to be a good asset because he's going to take the place of Sammy Watkins. And as good as Sammy Watkins can be, Mecole Hardman is just another guy like Tyreek Hill. He's just so fast.
So fast.
You get him the ball in the open field, and good luck. So I think the Chiefs come out. They're angry from the last 2 weeks, angry from this loss this last week against Oakland or against Las Vegas.
The Oakland, Los Angeles, Las Vegas.
I'm just gonna call them the Oakland Raiders from now. I don't really give a shit.
I
But they're the
still
Raiders.
call them Oakland.
So yeah, I think the Chiefs come out. And I think they play. I think it's gonna be a hard fought game, but I think they take this game because they're pretty angry over the last couple weeks.
In fact, didn't I call them San Diego last week for the
I think
Chargers?
you did. I think you did actually. Yeah.
Everybody knows what you're talking about.
I've been thinking about this during this whole segment, and it's a tough pick for me because obviously I want the Bills to win, but I kind of echo your sentiments, Joe, and yours as well, Frank. I'm gonna take the Chiefs. I think they're pissed off after this game against the Raiders, especially losing to a division blood rival like that. Yeah, I know you got to go to Buffalo and play the game, but again, it's that crowd factor, man.
And let's be honest, they would have lost to New England if Cam played.
Yes, they would have. I believe that 100%. They would have lost. Just with any competent quarterback, they would have won that. They would have lost that game. But yes, I'm gonna take the Chiefs. I think they're gonna throw in some wrinkles. Because like you said, I think some things have started to be figured out with the Chiefs from like opposing defenses.
And that's what I was just going to ask. Do you think Buffalo's defense can pose those problems?
Oh, what I'm watching tonight? No. I mean, they're having trouble stopping the Titans' offense. So
they're having trouble stopping Derrick Henry.
Even Ryan Tannehill, they're having trouble.
Are they really?
Yes.
I've been looking more this way. I haven't focused too much on it.
So for those reasons, I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
So I think it'll be a good game, but I am ultimately going to take the Chiefs.
It's a smart pick.
Yeah, I think so.
You're not picking with the heart. You're picking with the brain.
Exactly. And now the big game of the weekend.
Ooh.
Frank's Detroit Lions versus Frank's Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is Frank's game. I think we're going to let him go first on this one.
Why don't you let me go last on my game?
So the Lions versus the Jaguars.
Yes.
That's pretty much what I'm expecting.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
You guys asked me this before the show, and I know you guys were being smartasses to me about it. Is there a less exciting matchup that could possibly happen this year?
Anything with the New York Jets involved.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yes.
Lions Jets would probably be the bottom.
Well,
of the
No, just anything with the Jets.
Okay.
Anything.
To me, it'd be Lions Jets because it's the two worst
Yeah.
coaches I think I've ever seen in my life going up against each other to see who can out uncoach each other and who can lose the game with more ineptitude.
Right.
Like who can be the most inept.
I almost wanted to argue with you about that. And the first name that came to mind was Romeo Cornell. And then I remembered Romeo Cornell actually got a win this weekend.
Yes, he did.
Romeo Cornell had a 10-6 team with Cleveland.
Yeah.
They got to the
Also
playoffs that year, didn't they?
Was
They got to the
really
playoffs that year,
fucking
didn't they?
bad.
No, I don't
they
think they
missed
did.
it? Okay.
But Romeo Cornell was actually not a bad head coach. He's not a great head coach, but he wasn't a bad head coach. Now, if you want to talk about Cleveland Brown bad head coaches,
He's always
Hugh Jackson.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackson was a mastermind compared to Freddie Kitchen.
Well,
Yeah.
Larry the Cable Guy.
I mean, again, not exactly a high bar.
See, I don't even include Freddie Kitchens in the thought process of head coaches in the NFL because I think that was like a joke that was played on everybody.
That was the year they got shipped off to live with their aunt and uncle.
Yeah, I think it was one of those things that it didn't even happen because it was such a joke. But yeah, the Lions and the Jets would be the biggest back alley abortion of a football game.
Just horrific.
So let's hear let's hear who you guys have on this shit show because I feel like anybody who knows me knows exactly where I'm going.
Why? Well, I mean, I know you, and I don't know where you're going because you love both these teams. So
That's true.
I don't know where you're going. So,
but one of them has an individual.
What?
I don't pick against Gardner Minshew.
Oh, that's true.
Not
You
even
don't,
for the
yeah.
Lions.
Yeah, that's fair.
ah,
So Frank's taking the
okay,
Jags, huh?
all right. Well, see, you made your pick then. All right, I didn't see that one coming. Honestly,
See, that's why I said if you know me,
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm not picking against Gardner Minshew.
Joe?
But and in that case, you're going to be wrong a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
but this time I might not be.
The Lions are actually laying points.
Yeah, they are. They are in Jacksonville, by the way. And Jacksonville
with people.
And Jacksonville hosts fans.
Yeah.
So the Lions are giving up 3.5 right now.
Yeah.
And honestly, this is complete SOL. No, it is. They're going to win this game. And
Give them hope. Give fans hope.
yep, they're going to win this game. and they're going to win next week because guess who they're playing next week? The Falcons.
Oh, Jesus.
So they're going to be...
That's going to be a race to see who can blow leads?
Oh, they're going to be 3-3.
Yeah.
And people are being...
Playoffs.
And Patricia's going to be able to sell that they can make a push for the playoffs.
Yep.
So this is complete SOL.
If they lose that game against Atlanta, I'm telling you right now, I'm not coming on Tuesday. I'm giving you guys the show to say whatever you want. I'm just not showing up that Tuesday.
Fair enough.
So if you're a Lions fan, what you want to root for is for them to lose because you don't want there to be any hope. Because you want them to get rid of Patricia and Quinn. But what the Lions will do is they will win. And I'm picking them to win. They're going to beat Jacksonville. And they're going to give fans hope. They're going to be able to sell hope. They're going to beat Atlanta next week. So there's my pick for next week already. And they're going to sell hope again. And then you know what they're going to do on that hope? They're going to shit on it. They're going to take a giant dump on it.
Yes. All right.
That's what's going to happen. Your hopes are going to be OBJ.
I'm going to go outside the box. I'm going to say this game's going to end in a tie.
Bruh. Oh, shit.
I'm leaving it at that. This game is going to end in a tie.
Part of me hopes you're right.
Oh, God. Is that really your pick?
That's really my pick. This game is going to end in a tie.
Wow. All right. That's a
so
weird...
literally nobody wins.
I mean,
well, we talked about how nobody wins with this game anyway.
Yeah.
Like, just nobody wins with this game.
That's why I said literally nobody wins.
So the only worst game is going to be next week with Detroit and Atlanta. And then
I think that one's going to be fun to watch because you're going to see one of the two teams get up and then see which one is going to blow it.
Dude, it's going to be incredible. It's going to be like 50-50 going into the
great.
fourth. And then it's going to be interception, fumble.
It's going to be fabulous.
It could be the most beautiful display of
ineptitude.
Yeah.
The most beautiful display of ineptitude.
That'll be fantastic.
I'm glad you said the word because I was about to say ineptness.
Ineptness?
Ineptness.
I was making up a word on the fly because I didn't know what the proper term was.
That's is a made-up word.
That's
not the first one I've used.
Yeah, and with that is Week 6 NFL picks. So, with that being said, boys, I think we are done for the day.
Okay.
Okay. We want to say thank you to
everybody. Thank you. Come again.
Thank you. Come again. We want to say thank you to everybody for listening, for watching, for visiting our website, sotdet.com, for visiting our Facebook page, our Twitter page, our Instagram. Check us out. We appreciate every one of you. And if you haven't checked it out yet, please do. We have blogs on our website on sotdet.com. Frank writes a blog.
Sometimes,
but you have a few really good ones up there right now, and I know you're going to be writing some more. We also have fantasy football projections and some insight for every week. So check that out on sotdet.com. Again, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, our YouTube page. Give us a follow, give us a like. We appreciate it.
Yeah, that'd be greatly appreciated.
And then.
No, and then.
So with that being said, we are done with the show today. And join us next week for our live show at 7 o'clock. And we are out.
And that is it for us today.
No! God, please, no!
Bye, have a great time.
No! God!
Bye, guys.
No.
Bye, buddy. No!
Goodbye.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
Never goodbye.
You know, we've been through our ups and been through our downs.
You were meant to be here tonight.
You guys will always be in my heart.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
I think the most important part is that we all stay together throughout.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Live. Fight like hell. The best thing I've ever done, the best thing I will ever do, is be a dad.
God, I love you guys. Mamba out.